total annihilation.
Reports confirm that 50,000 Jews returned to the city of Jerusalem today. These Jews and their families were taken captive over 70 years ago by Babylon, but are now the first to have returned to their homeland. A spokesman for the Israelites confirmed that they do plan to rebuild the temple, which was destroyed in the Babylonian attack 70 years earlier. The rest of Jerusalem lies in ruins.
And so it went. The Jews had been exiled from their homeland, but even as captives in these foreign countries, God still uses people. Time passed, and to make a long story short,
too late.
70 years after they were taken captive, the first of them began to make their way home. There was a man named Nehemiah who was still living in Persia at this time. When reports came back from Jerusalem that the city was in ruins, he was heartbroken.
I'm heartbroken. King
Artaxerxes!
Oh, bless you. You must let me go and rebuild the walls so that my God will be honored.
What? Are you nuts?
No, with the wall destroyed, the enemies of my people will be free to attack, and Jerusalem will be taken again. You must let me go and rebuild so that my God will be honored.
All right, go.
Yes.
And Nehemiah leads us to Scene 9, the return to Jerusalem.
Or, deja vu. Have I been here before?
Nehemiah returned to Jerusalem with the help of King
Artaxerxes!
Whatever. And rallied the Jews to begin rebuilding the wall.
All right, everybody. We're going to build this wall, and God is really going to be honored. The cities will be strong, and all of God's people will be free to return home at last.
And so the Jewish people worked and worked. Around the clock they worked, and they faced much opposition. Enemies of the Jews tried to stop them, but they carried their tools in one hand and their swords in the other.
You're coughing. That's a sword. The hammer's in the other hand.
oh,
But despite the opposition they faced, they built the entire wall of Jerusalem in only 52 days.
Woo-hoo!
During the rebuilding of the wall, Nehemiah became governor. He led the people in an amazing thing.
The time has come, my friends, to recommit ourselves to God and to follow his ways. God has given us the promised land, the land that was promised to Abraham. God has brought us home, and now we must continue to live his way and obey his commands.
and in a way that happened. People recommitted themselves to God for the first time in many years. They didn't get it perfect, but it was closer than they had been for a long time.
Years passed, 400 to be exact.
Not much of what happened was recorded.
We know that somewhere in that time, Rome, who was traveling the world conquering cities, came in and took control of Jerusalem.
They didn't enslave the Jews, but they put a Roman king over the whole city, and he ran the place. His name was Herod.
Not much else happened during that time. The Israelites went on with their lives, following God, but still not knowing what it was like to be in that perfect relationship with him that he designed from the beginning.
Until, one silent night, the cry of a newborn baby was heard from the depths of a filthy stable.
Therefore, as one trespass led to condemnation for all men, so one act of righteousness leads to justification and life for all men.
For as by the one man's disobedience the many were made sinners, so by the one man's obedience the many will be made righteous.
Isaiah 60, verses 1 through 3. Arise, shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. For the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to the light, and the kings to the brightness of that rising.